Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. Glad you guys are here for another Great Guts Adventure episode. We are on day 8 of MellyKnits Great Guts Adventure for the 2025 Advent. And let's see what it is. So I did already open a bunch of it, but I want to read the card to you guys. Let's see here. The breed is actually a very unique breed. I've not heard of it before, so I'm pretty excited to mess with it here. And I'm bummed that I haven't been able to watch Melly's lure video for today. So I'll have to watch Melissa's video later because I'm really curious to learn about this breed. So the name is Jonquill, and it's a Norbouillet sheep, which I've never heard of before. So that's pretty cool. From Pine Hollow Farms, Ontario, with 5 grams of kid Mohair. So there is our little card, or sticker I should say, that came with it. And here are the locks of the Norbouillet. So if anyone's familiar with Norbouillet, please do comment in the comments below and share the information with us, because I am not familiar with it. It is definitely a medium wool. Really pretty color. Like a hot cocoa brown. Yeah, really, really pretty. Look at that crimp. Nice lock structure, really nice. And super easy to open. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So I have my pile here of my locks that I've opened, and we're just going to add to that really quick. So all I do is I'm just doing very similar to what I did yesterday. The tips were a little bit on the, not felted, I would say dirty side. Not dirty, that's not the right word either, because I know these fleeces are cleaned. They're like, I don't know, they're like compacted. The tips were kind of compacted. So all you do is kind of pull on the tip and open the locks up like that. You could also probably pull it widthwise and be fine, but I'm just trying to be consistent with like yesterday's with all that similar crimp. Wanted to make sure that I open it up nicely, because here you can kind of see how they're kind of like, it's not felted, but they're kind of stuck together. And I don't have a lock pop, but I do have a little, it's almost like a dog brush, but it was actually from I think it's Joann Fabrics. No, not Joann. Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, in their macrame section of all things, they have these little brushes that look like, basically like a dog brush, and kind of like a lock pop. And I just use that. And that is a way to get it open as well. But I'm just using my hands on this. But that, I use that if I'm doing really large amounts and I'm trying to not lose my mind. And I'll just take the end. So overall, this fleece, out of all of the fleeces that I've dealt with, had the most second cuts, which was not a lot, but the most second cuts. And then it had just a touch of some dirty tips that were not even worth trying to mess with. It's just, you know, sometimes it gets so compacted in there and it's very little. Again, I didn't lose a bunch of wool. It's just, it was accounted for. Like, that's why Melissa gives us more wool than the weight, because she accounts for the loss. Because there's going to be some second cuts. But there we go. So it's all nice and opened. And I'm going to do the same type of thing as yesterday, because there's Mohair, which is this beauty I didn't show you. So there's that beautiful Mohair. And super soft. Oh, this is luxurious. I just want to keep touching it. Okay. Stop touching it. We're going to turn on our drum carder, and we're going to go ahead and start feeding it nice and thin on a very slow speed again. And we're going to do the same type of thing as yesterday. Nice and thin of our Norbouillet. And then, oh, there's another little second cut. Just little second cuts, or just a little bit. It's really fascinating sheep. Wool, I should say. I'm really curious to learn about the Norbouillet. I'm gonna guess there's some type of relation to Rambouillet in there, but that's a guess. I do not know for a fact. I know nothing about Norbouillet. I looked it up. I tried to look it up in my Fleece and Fiber source book, and I couldn't find it in there. So I know nothing about it. I'm really curious. And Melly, or I should say Melissa of MellyKnits has some really interesting information she's been sharing on her lure videos. So I definitely want to get on there and check that out and see what she has to share about this, because fascinating. All right, let's get a nice layer in there. Now we're messing with some different colors here. So this is what I was kind of talking about, like these tips. They are, some of them are a little tippy. Oops. So I really need to go through and kind of get some of those tips off. But I was just doing this really quickly before I got on here to record. There we go. All right. So next, we're going to add a little bit of our mohair. And I am going to just, these are nice and long locks, so I think they're going to nicely go on the carder. And I'm going to spread it out very, very thin and feed that through. So many times mohair locks are actually quite long. They do like to stick to everything, so I'm getting it all over my beautiful sweater. This is an Irish sweater, and it's just like getting tons of it stuck on there. But look how beautifully that goes on there. Nice. Okay, let's get some more of our Norbouillet. Again, very, very thin. I need to get a good sip. I just got in from doing chores with the sheep today. It is very cold. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but this morning it was 3 degrees negative 3 degrees Fahrenheit. It was extremely cold. Really hard to do the chores, actually. I was super bundled up, but the air is just, it's so hard to breathe at that temperature. It's that cold. All right. Now I'm just going to take a little bit more of my mohair and then just spread it out really thin and feed it on. This is a win for me. I'm really grateful. This seems like it's going to be a nice one. There's some of these where you do it and it's just like, just goes on. It just wants to be carded. It's not fighting you. It wants to blend. I'm really hoping that that's what this is, because it kind of seems like that's what it wants to do. So I hope that's the case. It's such a pretty gray with like a little bit of brown in there too. It's really pretty. It's a very interesting color. I really should have been better about my tips. I opened most of them, but a few of them are just not wanting to open. You'll have to excuse my sniffles. I fear I might be coming down with something. I hope not. Tis the season, and I deal with people all day, like lots of people, so if I get sick, it wouldn't really be the biggest surprise, but it's really hard for me not to go through a season and not get sick. All right. Add some more mohair. It's kind of a lot. Just put that up here. Nice and thin. Spread it across. Go. And more Norbouillet. It's really an interesting wool. It's not scratchy. That's not the word. It's not scratchy. But it has like tooth to it. I feel like tooth is the right way to describe it. So you see how this is going on here? I'm going to start compacting this, and that should hopefully pick all that up. But yeah, it was extremely cold this morning. So the sheep were very much stomping their little hoof to get more hay this morning. And I went to their little hay hut and got them hay, and it was unbelievable. I don't have to walk that far to get hay because we now have a little hut right near their area that has hay in it. It's like a little mini barn. And I kid you not, guys, it was not far at all, and I was so winded. Like I just couldn't breathe very well. And so I flashbacks to when I was a teenager, and I'm like, is my asthma back? It was so bizarre. But the air, it was just, oh, it was so cold, like just wicked cold. Okay. And again, get my little brush in here and get that nice and compacted. This has a nice bounce to it, which is why the pile is so floofy. So this is definitely one that I'm going to have to do the same thing like yesterday, where I'm going to have to spread it out like this when I put it on there, because if I do anything other than that, I just don't think it'll fit on the drum without just getting all caught in the liquor in. So there we go. Just put a little bit of our mohair through. And then we'll do more of this. Now, Melissa did say something about layering something over things like mohair, which would probably have been a good idea on this. I'm going to do that on the next pass, where you put a little bit of the mohair and then you layer on top of it, like half of the lock is the wool. I'll show you what I'm talking about, so it'll make hopefully more sense. But because I'm very much a visual person, so if we take our mohair and we go like this, then I'm going to take a little bit of my Norbouillet, and of course there's a couple of teeny little second cuts or nublets in here, and then spread this across like that. So it's like overlapping, and I'll inch it forward here. And that hopefully will help that Norbouillet, or the Norbouillet will help the mohair stick. I don't know. I think that's what the method is on that. It does seem to be helping. Alright, last little bit. So I've got the last little bit of mohair here. Spread it out nice and thin. And then get that last little bit of Norbouillet. Spread that across. Right, and then we'll feed that on. So bad. Okay. And we're going to continue to use our little brush here to make sure that we're compressing. So we can get all that fluffiness, fabulous goodness on here. I can tell with this one, especially since we have different coloring going on here, I definitely want to do probably 3 passes. Okay, there's a little bit more of our mohair here. It likes to stick to everything. So this would probably be something that I'm going to need to clean off my liquor in. I joked, and I was semi-serious, that I wasn't going to clean this off until I got through everything. But because of that's what I'm looking for. Because of some of these mix-ins and everything, I kind of almost have to clean it off. Otherwise, some of them will probably get grabbed onto different fleeces. So, all right, let's get to our little spot here. We're going to take our doffer, fancy doffer, and take that off. Comes off very nicely so far. Put my sleeve up because this type of wool just wants to grab everything. I have to love the wonderfully rustic wools of the Irish. But the tricky part is that it grabs onto everything, and I don't want all this beautiful so what I'm looking for. Mohair. Beautiful mohair. I don't want the beautiful mohair to get stuck on my sweater. I want it to stay in the bat. Okay. Go. Nice. And last little bit here. Cool. Alright, we're definitely going to be doing our getting it into quarters. So I do it down the middle, and then separate it into quarters. This I'm going to be careful because it is just grabbing the sweater. It really wants to be one full sweater. This mohair is just really wanting to grab onto it. It's gorgeous. Right, get that speed up a little, just a touch. And again, feed it. I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday where I flip it. And the nice part about flipping it like that is you change your orientation a little bit. And it helps it just get blended that much better. Globble there. Just beautiful. Okay. And guys, I have to say I'm pretty impressed that I've been able to keep this up. We are on the 8th day, and I've been recording every single day. So that is a feat for me. I am hoping I can keep up the momentum. But so far so good. All right. Well, it's looking really nice, you guys. Gosh, do I need to go 3 times? I don't know. I might not have to do it 3 times. I might only have to do 2 passes. Does that seem crazy? It does seem crazy. I don't know too many bats I've ever made that I've only done 2 passes ever. So that would be interesting. Okay, put this one in. On there. But it's just looking really cohesive. Now, it is hard to really judge it truly until you take it off of your drum carder, but it's really looking pretty good. I've really enjoyed this adventure. I don't know about you guys. So I know there's a nubbin. There it is. There's this nubbin. I was going by and I just need to grab it. Sometimes you just gotta do it while it's there, staring you in the face. Okay. And this chunk has a lot of mohair on it. It's so pretty, and it's just grabbing my sweater and trying to hang on for dear life. I'm gonna end up with like mohair everywhere. And I'm just gonna take my comb again and or my brush and just compact this. And we'll see what this looks like. I might not have to do a 3rd pass. It's looking really good, guys. So you can see there's some on that liquorin. I'm just gonna compact this, and if it doesn't pull it off of the liquorin just by doing this, then I'll go in and try to pull some of that. It is definitely grabbing some of it. And that's kind of a little nubbin, but look at that mohair. Silky, silky goodness. So pretty. I just want to get it up on here. Alright. It's looking good. Let's take that off and see where we're at. I really should have just gone with my short sleeve shirt, but it is so cold. I don't want to wear a short sleeve shirt. Okay. These sleeves, though. I love these sleeves. This is one of the most comfortable sweaters that I wear to work all the time. I work very near the door, the entrance to one of the doors to the building, and oops, we're at to change direction. And let me tell you, it's cold. So if I don't have a big sweater like this on days like today, I will regret it, and I will be very cold. I'm incredibly grateful that I can wear sweaters at work. Okay. Holy goodness. Almost there. I think we might be good. Let's see if I can not get this all over my sweater. So here we are after 2 passes, and normally I would do a 3rd, but this is actually really well distributed. It looks pretty evenly distributed and very smooth. Just beautiful. Look at that shine. Ooh. Looks like milk chocolatey hot cocoa. That's with shine, of course. Gotta have the shine. I'm sure you can see that from that gorgeous mohair. Oof, beautiful. All right, so 2 passes. So that is pretty impressive. Most of these fleeces have been 3 passes or more, or at least I felt the need to do 3 or more. 2 passes, I feel pretty good about this. We're gonna leave it as is. So thank you so much for joining me for day 8 of the Great Guts Adventure, and make sure that you like if you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe so that you can view the next couple episodes. There are going to be 12 of these. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care. Bye.